Well, for the majority of my days as a druggie, I've stuck mostly to herb and other related drugs, such as coke and weed mixed. Just recently my robo-head sister and her friend Matt convinced me to try the amazing robo-trip. Not one to usually pass up a good time, I agreed. Much to my delight, I would later acknowledge. I would guess it was about 7 p.m. when I guzzled the bottle down, and for a while nothing happened. I didn't throw up as I suspected I would, but it took about an hour to an hour and a half for the trip to actually kick in. We were on our way to the public beach parking, around 8:30, and I was feeling normal, or so I thought. It wasn't until I attempted to step out of the car and nearly fell over that I realized I was flying. After a few seconds of short-lived skydom, I returned to my senses somewhat. By then Matt and Mel, my sister, were already completely gone. We rather slowly made our way onto the beach, where I, amazed by a newfound sight, got lost in time. As I stood on the beach idly staring at a light, which at one moment looked to be a mere few feet away and then a few miles, my sister had collapsed behind me into a praying position in the sand. As my sister prayed to the beach gods, our friend Matt stared at the sky, commenting on the beautiful stars. Never mind the fact that it was somewhat overcast, he saw them all perfectly, so who am I to ruin his fun, right? As I returned my eyes to the glorifying light, I realized I had begun to itch quite irritably. Under closer observation I noticed I had broken out into hives and my lips had gotten swollen. Completely freaked, I jumped in the car, yelling for Mel and Matt to follow, and began frantically ripping off my shirt. If you can picture this, one person in the back seat going crazy and tearing his attire from his hive-covered body, the other two staring in amazement, when they should have been watching the road. It must have been quite funny, since we attracted far more attention than I would have liked.